A normal man, and a quiet house, and a backyard that held something the neighbors could never forget. It started like any other Sunday morning in Mayfield, Ohio, a small town, the kind where everybody knows each other. Neighbors waved, lawns were neat, everything appeared normal until Richard Langley disappeared. Langley had been a fixture in Mayfield for over a decade, the kind of guy who never made waves, kept to himself but always nodded politely. People remembered him for saving lives as a firefighter. No one could have guessed he might later take them. Richard Langley was 42, a retired firefighter, divorced, no kids. He lived alone in a modest two-story house on the corner of Pinecrest Drive. On May 3rd, he was supposed to meet his brother for dinner. He never showed. Calls went unanswered. Texts left on read. His front door was locked, his car still in the driveway, and his dog, Buster, hadn't been walked. Richard's brother, Tom, waited outside for over an hour that night. He knocked, called, even walked around the side of the house, but everything looked still, like time had stopped. Buster's barks were the only thing that broke the silence. Police conducted a welfare check. No signs of forced entry, no struggle, just silence. Neighbors said they'd last seen him walking Buster the evening before. One neighbor, Mrs. Delaney, said she heard digging sounds late that night, but brushed it off as gardening. The backyard had disturbed earth, but it didn't seem fresh, just uneven. Officers noted it, but without a warrant, they couldn't dig. They took photos, marked it in their report, but didn't touch a thing. What they didn't know is that beneath that soil lay a horror no one in Mayfield was ready to face. What's strange is that Richard hadn't been acting odd in the days leading up to his disappearance. But one neighbor recalled he had installed new outdoor floodlights recently and kept them on all night. 2 days later, Richard's phone pinged from inside his house. This time, police entered with a warrant. In the kitchen, Richard's phone lay on the counter, charged and locked. A draft text message was open. It read, "I think someone was in the backyard. Might just be paranoid, but..." That message changed everything. Was Richard afraid of someone? Or did he write it to cover his own tracks? Police noted that the timestamp on the draft was 11:42 p.m., just minutes after Mrs. Delaney said she heard the digging. Even stranger, the fridge was fully stocked. Milk, juice, bread. No sign of a man planning to leave. There was still a warm mug in the sink, the dog's leash by the door. It didn't look like someone who ran. It looked like someone who vanished. With probable cause, the police returned to the backyard. They brought cadaver dogs. Within minutes, the dogs alerted. They dug 3 feet down and found what no one expected. A wooden chest sealed shut. Inside, bones, human remains wrapped in plastic and duct tape. Not one body, 2. The officers on site immediately backed off and called forensics. The chest had been hand-built, not something store-bought, screwed shut, reinforced. It was built to last. One officer called it a DIY coffin. The bones had been carefully arranged, not dumped, and the smell, unmistakable. One of the forensic techs had to step away. It wasn't just death, it was personal. The bodies were female, aged between 20 and 30. No ID, no fingerprints in the system. One had a bracelet engraved Emma. DNA testing would take weeks, but the neighborhood went into lockdown. Rumors swirled. Was Richard a killer or a victim, police started canvassing nearby towns, looking for missing persons cases. One family from Akron came forward. Their daughter, Emma Rizzo, had gone missing 2 years prior. Same age, same build. She loved silver jewelry. News crews swarmed Mayfield. The media dubbed it the backyard butcher. But no one had answers. And still, no Richard. 5 days later, Richard Langley was found. He'd driven 800 miles to Montana, camped in the wilderness, alone. When police arrested him, he was calm. He said only one thing: check the other backyard. He didn't resist, didn't ask why. No anger, no fear, just that one sentence. Investigators were stunned. Another backyard? A quick scan of rental records revealed something chilling. Richard had used an alias to rent a second home just 14 miles from Mayfield. A quiet neighborhood. No one had seen him come or go. It had a large, fenced-in yard. In that backyard, they found 2 more bodies. The mystery deepens. Who were the victims? Why did Richard do it? Was he working alone? And what was he digging for that night when the neighbor heard him? Was Richard a psychopath hiding in plain sight, or part of something darker? A trafficking ring? A revenge plot? To this day, Richard has never spoken another word. Not in trial, not in prison. Authorities say he draws diagrams in his cell, maps, yards, trees. One chilling note was found among his belongings. Some things grow better underground. Subscribe to Keep Out TV for more twisted true crime stories. New videos every week.